Hey kids, Mark Miller here. Fred's with me over there. How you doing, Fred? Fred's good. Glad to have you with us. Let's dock the good old drone over here. Good day today. We're going to, sorry, did I say dock? Let's blow up the drone. Let's get some music going here. Rory's going to be joining us, I think, in about an hour. So stay tuned for that. That's when the show kicks into gear, kids. Look at this. I got two Freds up here. What? What am I on? Got it. I see why. Okay. Might have to clean up a couple Freds here. Looks like my dragon front position is offset a bit. Let me just adjust that. Got some funk playing today, kids. Come on, OBS. OBS just went unresponsive on me. Looking at a toilet bowl of doom. There we go. Back now. All right. Sweet. That's in the right position. I'm going to switch over to another scene anyway, but I wanted to get that one right. So we're going to pick up where we left off. I got over in the little cutie position. Uh-oh, looks like I need to be reversed. Give me a sec on that. In the little cutie position. Oh, did I seriously just die and freeze? Am I coming back or not? I look at another toilet bowl. Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of a test here. Oh, look at this. I'm back. I'm doing a little bit of test here. It's a bandwidth test on my machine. My keyboard's right here up, and it's duplicating some stuff that we're doing on the other show. The Dragon Humper show, where we've got a couple videos coming in, and I've got probably about, I don't know for sure, but I'd say around 16 USB devices plugged in, including some heavy duty ones, pushing a lot of data. Two are giant monitors that I have got attached through USB. I've got a DSLR camera coming in through USB, and I've got a Logitech Brio right here on the keyboard coming in. And we were having some problems on the other stream with that, where I was freezing. This video would freeze from the Camlink 4K, and we did I did some research online, and they were saying, hey, if you can find a way to balance your USB data transmissions across the actual ports of your laptop, you might be able to solve this. And so I've got the Logitech Brio going into its own dedicated USB port, and that seems to be the solution so far. So this is our test to see if we get if this video keeps going and I don't freeze on the whole show. That's a good sign. That means we're pushing this. By the way, we're pushing this laptop to its absolute limits in terms of memory, in terms of performance, and in terms of USB throughput. A little bit mind-blowing. Anyway, that's it. Welcome. Let's show you where we were, and we'll pick up from there. We're over here in the D&D map Spike, right here. I've got it running right now. This is it right here. We were in the middle of doing undo and redo. And we had implemented undo and redo on for stamps. So let me drop some stamps on here. Drop this in. I can move it. I can move it. I can resize it and resize it and move it and rotate it and bring it down here. Rotate it again. That sort of thing. And maybe flip it a couple times. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now if I hit Control Z to undo. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm just hitting it 3 times there. You can even see it. Nice. Keep hitting Control Z. There we go. We should see it scale up and down. There it is. And move around. Control Shift Z reverses the whole process. So kind of a cool demo. We implemented that with not a whole lot of code. And last Thursday we left off. We ended the show just about to getting into a harder level of undo. There's kind of two things we want to do on this show today. One is we want to get to the harder level of undo. That harder level of undo is going to be dealing with properties that are kind of an absolute change. So right now, let's say I even have multiple of these. Let me explain what I'm talking about here. If I take 2 of these and I shift click both of them and I scale them, whoops, take both of these and I scale them down, move them, and then maybe scale them up like that. And I undo, 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 and then redo, redo, redo like that. Everything works well with regards to these changes. And the reason it is because when I make this change here to resize it, or when I drag it and move it, the delta that's happening to both the scale and the positions, the deltas for each of the selected controls are exactly the same. So the undo and redo just store the delta. But we're about to make some changes. There's some other features in here that where the changes made are actually changing values rather than multiplying them. I think is the best way of saying it, or adding or subtracting. In other words, with the movement, we've got addition or subtraction of a delta. And so our undo and redo is just reversing that. For the scaling, we've got a multiplication by a particular factor. And our undo and redo is just undoing and redoing that. But I've got other features here. For example, send to back. Okay, send to back is a little bit tricky because we have to remember where we were in the Z order position to support the undo. So we may have a relative jump down or an absolute jump down, either way, to get to the bottom of the stack of the Z order stack. And then an undo would need to absolute position restore it back. So we're now moving into absolute undos. Absolute undos with one item is tricky enough, but if we have multiple items, it gets even trickier. So what we need to do is, well, we need to implement that, is what we need to do. I'll keep this running for a little bit, and we'll take a look at the code here, where we were looking at the undo and the redo. That was out in this space over here. Here's our undo and redo. We've got our undo stack and our redo stack. Those are being maintained for us automatically. Redo stack is built anytime we undo. We just push an item onto the redo stack. And anytime we make a major change, we execute a command, we clear the redo stack. So this is all code we wrote on Thursday. Execute command is called from here, where we're just going to the command factory, passing in whatever data is passed in and specifying the command type, which is a string of the type we want to create. This is called here. So for example, move selected stamps. We just pass it in a move delta like that. Okay. And that's the data that we put in there. So that's our move. That's our scale. And that's the data we put into it. Like I say, we're about to get to a point where we need to make multiple changes. I think the one I want to start with is actually going to be the hue shift. So if I hue shift this right here, there's no undo or redo on this because it's not being executed through our command system. But it's an absolute change. When I make a change to this, I need to record the previous state and so that I can undo it. And, you know, as usual, I, you know, didn't prepare, didn't do any really thinking about this. Maybe a good time to point out that... How did I disappear in this whole scenario? That's interesting. I'm way off screen over here. And I'm back now, okay. Yeah, so we're going to kind of work our way through it. We're going to work through it, our way through it using... All right, so let's do that and get me back on screen again. Rebecca says from set property from X to Y command is what I think Rory is suggesting. Yeah, it's kind of like that. And it's exactly what I was thinking. And a lot of these are numbers that we're manipulating. This is a number, this is a number, this is a number, this is a number. And guess what? This is a number. These are numbers. And arguably, even these are kind of numbers too. Bring to front and bring to back, kind of those options there. So, yeah, so we kind of need the idea to store a number with a particular item. Now, somewhere down here in this code we wrote Thursday, let's look at the hierarchy here. Base command, what's inside of that? It just goes to activate or create instance. So it's just basically some code to create the instance and assign the data. That's what we're doing there. Okay. And go back, base stamp command sets works on stamps is equal to true. And where's selected stamps? I forget where did I miss that? Is it up? Where is that? That's in base command. I feel like I was just here looking at this. What was I looking at that wasn't base command? Okay. All right, so base stamp command has these descendants right here. These are the pieces that we're actually calling when making these changes. I think we need a descendant of base stamp command. Oops. Let's Max 8362 is now following. Welcome to the show, Max 8362. Good to have you with us. All right, so I want to create a descendant of this. Actually, let me do this instead. Let's just type in C and the / there, C and the backslash, sorry. And we're going to call this the base stamp absolute value command right there. So base command right here has this works on stamps and it has a selected stamps piece. And I mentioned on Thursday we're living on borrowed time that this list is going to end up not working. And the reason it's not is because when we run it, if I drop a stamp on and I undo it, or no, I drop a stamp on and then I rotate it, well, I've stored that I'm rotating that particular stamp. It's an actual reference to the iStamp property interface implementation instance. It's a reference to that instance. And now I delete that, okay? Then I hit undo to bring it back and undo again to undo the rotation of it. And at this point, my rotation is going to be working on a selected stamps that's an old one before my delete and then my undo, which created a new one, which is not the same one. So our selected stamps mechanism, this is going to change. So this has to change to support adding and deleting stamps in the undo, redo arena, like that. So we have to be able to support a way of referencing a stamp, deleting it, then doing an undo to recreate it and reconstituting that reference. That's what we need to do. I'm kind of thinking about this. I'm thinking about kind of wrapping undo and redo in something that's going to fix that, to reconstitute that. And what I think I want to do is I want to, let me just tab the next reference. So over here, yeah, let's do this. just going through all the undos and the redo, all the redos right now. Let's do this. Let's call this do redo. What? No. What? I just started working on it. Is it because I tabbed all the way through all those? What does it think is happening? Do redo, enter. Yeah, no. I'm not sure what's happening here. I'm going to hit undo on this. Can I do that? No. What is going on? Should we report this? I think we should report this. I'm not sure if there's a... I'm actually hitting a close button here, and this is not going away. And I feel like I'm in a lockup state right now. Fortunately, we're recording everything that's happening, and we have the ability to send the recording. Look at that, not responding. Over to the CodeRush devs, who also have the ability to share this information with the Visual Studio team. So that's what we're going to do right now. Look at that. Stunning. All right. Let's got the CodeRush issue start at least sent in there. The restart Visual Studio 2019 is restarting. Let's complete the issue documentation while that's coming back in. Let's recover the selected files. And this is also, the other cool thing about this is that all the log files, everything that's going on is automatically sent over to our developers. So they have not only a video, but they have a pretty good, they have other data, diagnostics data as well. So we had a hit tab to next reference while renaming, undo, prob, and then a lockup like that. There's my issue close right there. So the devs can take a look at that. All right, let's get back into where we were. And let's see, let's put this, so the absolute value, what this is going to do, oh wait, I want to get back into, we'll come back here in a second. Let me drop a marker here. Let's go to, let's go back to base stamp command. Base command, sorry. I want to rename these. Try one more time. F2 to rename, and I'm going to call this do undo, like this. I do not see what is happening. File could not be refactored. One or more errors occurred. You wish to continue with refactoring. The file, it's got an empty name right here. That is super interesting. I don't think we're done with this issue yet. I'm not sure what to say on this. What is my problem? I'm going to say yes and see what happens. Let's do tab to next reference. Tab, 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 tab. All right, all of this seems to work. Let's hit tab to next reference for all the redos and make sure that we've got a do undo next to every single one. I'm not sure what that error was about. Okay, it looks okay to me. Let's do it here. We're going to call this do redo, like this. And got the same problem. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Rory, if you're listening, remind me when we, or do me a favor and if you respond to that email that went out and let the devs know they need to watch a little bit longer on this. And in fact, actually, you know what? Never mind that, because I'm going to start one more issue on this because there may be a second bit of information in the logs. Let's do this. Interesting. And let me do one more thing. I'm going to, at this point, I assume that if I come in here again and go back to the original, I'll be able to recreate the problem. Ah, I cannot recreate the problem. Okay. Can I undo it? Undo again, yes. Undo again, yes. Undo again, yes. Come on. He's not letting me get past that do undo. All right, let's try this. Okay, and can I go back forward in the forward direction? That's okay, good. Let me say no this time. Rename operation was canceled or is not valid. Okay, so I want to do a save all. Since I've got a reproducible piece right over here, I want to do a save all and I want to check this in. Fred, you good? Fred's good. You have any idea what's going on, Fred? Hey, look who's here! Look out, Fred! It's Michael.
Michael
He sometimes flies pretty low.
He's in the house.
I think he's gonna be okay. I'm not on screen, so he's. Oh man, that's not good. Look at this. What's going on here? Let's go in here and transform, reset transform. Here I am. Let's bring me out here on this. There's me. Do you want to show like just this? Just my head? No? All right. There we go. Right there. And let's modify that transform here. Transform, flip, horizontal. There it is. Let's drop me down in size. Get me in the right spot. That's not bad. Okay. See if that fixes stuff out there for the future. Keyboard view, fancy. Foiled by the exclamation point. Okay, cool. I want to get all of this in. So this is, we're going to call this rename bug. Like that. Push the changes, stage all. Pop it in there. Commit. We're going to add a tag so our devs can get all this source code. This is in the D&D map spike app. Let's see. I'm going to see what's going on here. Can I fly a drone out? I can. All right. Let's go back and do a tag. We're going to say this issue rename bug. So we're going to call it. Push that tag to the origin. Add that tag out there. That's awesome. I love catching edge case issues, and I feel like we have something that's like would otherwise be hard to reproduce. That's what I want. Copy that link address. Okay, devs. Here's the link right here. Rory, if you can hear me, I am sending this over to our Skype chat as well. And if you could throw that into the mix of those issues that were sent out there. And so that is that's the code you want to get. And as I mentioned, the source code project you want to open up is the D&D map spike. This one right here. Okay, let's go forward. So expect to see that bug. Yes, it seems to work. However, but it's odd. Whoops, hold on. I didn't actually do anything that time. Try one more time. Okay, let's build, just make sure that refactoring worked everywhere. Good. So I want the do redo and the do undo. I want those to actually do those pieces. In fact, I suppose I should really call these like perform, at the risk of bringing more errors up. I want to call this perform redo. Do I? Just don't like the do undo and the do redos. Perform redo, execute redo, activate redo. Maybe I like activate better. All right. I do. Interestingly enough, executing it from here seems to not be fraught with the errors. Or it could be that we're just starting from redo and changing redo to something or undo to something. All right, one more time on the build. Build succeeded. Okay. Yep, it's good. All right, next, I want to actually have what I think are virtual redos and undos, like that. That's what I want. And then we want to override these in the descendants. Well, the redo is going to be do this. And the undo is going to be this, like that. So now I got my wrappers around these. And then I want to go outside of here and look at where I'm calling this outside. This one's just going to call redo. And outside, I want to go look at where I'm, yeah, here. I'm in the main window right here. Let's call this a redo. Let's call this undo. And then let's go back in and let's make sure these are, change this visibility to like protected. Like that. Okay. All right, build again. Oh, looks like we got some errors. Got to change the scope of this everywhere. Okay, did we get them all? Let's try build again. Almost. All right, cool. Build succeeded. All right, next we want to go to base stamp command. Is that where we were? No, we had a descendant of this, base stamp absolute command. And around this time, we want to hold on, I want to take a look at how we're setting the data again. That's here. It's just in the create call. Okay, so selected stamps, where's selected stamps set? Oh, it's right here in the execute call for base command. And that's coming from selected stamps, which is coming from where? Where do we... It's just that one place we're looking at, I think, right? Hold on, actually, maybe not. I'm in the wrong... So I see, we're passing it in here. Okay, from main window XAML.cs, we're passing in the selected stamps into execute on the command. So that's where we give it the data for the first time. I'm feeling like we need this call, virtual. I think we need that. And then I feel like we need over inside of our, this guy, we want an override of this. Okay, then let's move this to its own file. Wonder if I should use reflection here or not. I'm thinking I'm not going to do that. I'll make an individual base stamp for each one of these, I think. So I won't actually overwrite it here. I'll overwrite it in the descendants of it, is what I'll do. Let's see what we get. We're going to call this the hue change command. So start with that. Also, I want to rename this to have the word command at the end of it. And I want to rename the file to match the type. With our reflection, won't you need one command per property that can be changed? With reflection, you pass in the name of the property. Oh, I'm sorry, without reflection. Yeah, one command per property. With reflection, you pass in name of property. Yeah, no, I kind of get that. I feel like the code is simpler with reflection, but I decided against it because I was imagining a field with hundreds of these selected and imagining that around that point, that performance of reflection would be detectable, noticeable by a human. That's basically what I ran that in my head as a possibility. I don't know. Should I really be worried about performance here? But even so, I'm still like, you know, I guess then we put the burden of knowing the property name out on the client as well. And it's already giving them the burden of knowing the name of the undo and redo element. So I don't know. There's lots of ways to argue this. The problem is there's nothing super compelling. In other words, the code, the nice thing about having one class for everything we're undoing and redoing is it's crazy simple to look at, right? You look at the class, you instantly see what's going on with it, and it makes a lot of sense, and it's likely to never change. It's not brittle compared to the strings, right? Unless you do the name of, but then you've got a name of and grab the actual type, and you're still having kind of a dependency there. I don't know. I feel like I'm arguing a lot over something that makes very little difference. I should have a built-in guideline that says, Mark, if you're arguing over something that doesn't make a difference, stop arguing with yourself and write some code. That's kind of what I'm thinking. All right, so here's our huge change command. I bet we got to implement something in here. Okay, cool. We got to do those two things. We're going to do put our prepare for execution in here. And I think we got something. The code's going to look something like this. So we're going to say, so here we know that our selected stamps are good. At this point, we know they're good. We want to get the values that we're about to change. And we want to bind them in a way that we can kind of get them back later. What have I done here? Yeah. So this note right here, we're going to have to create a GUID. We don't have that GUID yet. I want to see when we're implementing this. Do we have a GUID inside the implementers by chance so we can borrow? What's this, a base stamp? Does it have a GUID property? Who's got a GUID property? Base stamp does not have a GUID. So we kind of have to implement that. Yeah, base stamp. Base stamp is the ancestor for both stamp and stamp group. So I think we can put it in here. Is what I think we can do. And we can build the GUID here automatically is what I think we can do. This is gonna, I know we know we're gonna need to do this no matter what. We've got a constructor here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's add the GUID. I'm getting regular video freeze with a continuation of audio. That's not good. Our video is not just the one pointing at you, but rather the entire stream. Okay, thanks, Rory. I will keep an eye on that. Oh yeah, it's dropping now. Let's do an internet speed test. That's my download. And my upload. Yeah, my upload is great, but I'm actually looking in here. While it's showing me my upload is great, well, it's actually dropping the speed test may be taking away from the stream, but it's showing me the stream is in red in terms of quality. It's going back up, it's going back up. I don't have a great answer for that, Rory, but in general, you know, anytime I test it, it seems to be okay. Audio flawless. Well, that's good. All right, thanks. We'll keep an eye on that and see what's going on. I'm trying to decide if it's the second camera or not, right? That's what I'm trying to do. Did my transform flip horizontal? There we go. Now I'm pointing the right way. Good. Okay. So I think it's enough here in the base. Let's make sure our descendants are calling the base and their constructors. That would be nice. Because I'm not sure if this happens automatically or not. Just in case it doesn't, I'm going to add the code right there to make sure that happens like that. I feel like I know it does, or I've learned that it does a long time ago, but I'm not sure. And in other cases, I've definitely, when the parameters are different, I will definitely specify it. But I'm going to throw this in just in case. Actually, let's ask the question. Let's ask Internet. C# constructors call base automatically. Yes. Nice. Now, if there's a constructor with no arguments. Okay, cool. So we don't need that. We are going to call base. That's sweet, and that's exactly what we want. So we've got that stamp group there. And here in this one, we're doing the same thing. We've got a parameterless call, so we don't have to worry about that one. We only have to worry about constructors with parameters in them. Like this one. And this goes to, okay, but this one goes to this, which in turn should go to base. So I think we're good with that stamp one right there. What about in stamp group? Do we have any constructors over here? Yep, we got one. And it does not call base. That one's important. Okay. Good. Next, stamp. Are we going to persist the GUIDs? I think we're not. Sorry, let's go to base stamp rather. So we're going to create an auto implement GUID property. So AG, like that, call it GUID. And we're going to do a JSON ignore on this. Whoops. Like that. Let's build. Okay. That succeeded. Let's get back over here. Now what I need to do is for each piece I want to save, I want to do something like this. I want to say save value like this. I want to call that. That's what I think I want to do. And I want to put that up above in base stamp absolute value command. Like that, right there. Then up here, I want to have a new dictionary of GUID indexed doubles, like that. So, and that's just code rush I was using to get out that line of code quickly. So we're going to say, I want that to, we're going to call that saved values, I think. No, I think we're going to need two of these. That's right. When we go backwards, we're going to restore everything. When we go forwards, we're going to set it to one value. Is that always the same? Is that always true? I think it's always true. So the saved values, would we call those the undo values is what I think we would call those. And we'd have a single redo value is what we would have. Like that. So we've got a save value here. Now what I want to do is I want to come into undo values and I want to say, hey, undo values dot add stamp properties dot GUID. Oops. Guess who needs to add GUID into iStamp properties? So we say AG GUID. That's what I'm calling it. There it is right there. Okay. All right, so there's my GUID. Let's get rid of the to do. Getting ourselves out of borrowed time here. There's our undo values. And we're going to add this value like that. Similarly, we need a get value. And the only question is, do we want to make this tolerant of errors? And I'm thinking no. We want this to totally work. This should be totally solid. So we should find all the errors. We should wrap this in a try-catch at a higher level. That's what I think we should do. Maybe we do this. If it doesn't have the GUID in it, then I want to say what system diagnostics debugger break. So we are. I decided I am going to make it tolerant of it. But I'm going to get a breakpoint here during debugging stages to try to find all the bugs before we ship, kind of thing. But if we ship, meaning somebody's working on a map with the map editor, I don't want the map editor to crash if I've failed to put a try-catch around the outer level. Okay. So there's my get value. So save value is here. Prepare for execution, and base stamp command. Whoops, sorry. Base stamp absolute value command. It's got the redo value there, and hue change command. Move that type to its own file. I want to see what's going on with the scale command. I checked data on it right here before I call activate undo on it. Okay, so I want, all right, so we want to create oh, you guys are going to go crazy. I think some people are going to go nuts when I do this next thing here. Okay, when you see this, you're going to be like, what are you doing, Mark? You're creating a class just to hold a double. And I really am. I really am doing this. Yeah, I'm doing it because I want to. There you go. Calling it double data. And so now out in, let's see, we want to go to our main. Start looking at the client code, what we want that client code to look like here. the client code. Wait, where are we setting the data? I'm trying to figure that out. Here it is. Data, execute command. Okay, so what I want to do is this. When we change the hue, let's go jump to the hue symbol. What's going on here? We're updating it, but are we actually applying it? I think we are. So this is somewhat problematic. We are making multiple changes as we're dragging, but we haven't released the mouse yet to apply it, because we want to see that feedback right there in the document. So it's like we need to kind of make the changes without hold on a second. We need to make the changes without modifying the undo stack, or rather, when we're in this sequence, when we're in this state where the mouse is still down, anytime we make a change, it needs to modify the last one on this undo stack rather than adding a new entry to the last undo stack. Which I think also means we need a way to kind of say, hey, we're in this state. We've got the shift timer elapsed. So what happens when do we ever assign hue shift? There's the reset. This is when we paste. That's going to be interesting for undo and redo. Reset of color mods. That's an absolute change. Transfer properties. Not worried about that. Clone. Not worried about that. Some might say a preview state followed by a confirmed value. Matthew Groves coming in with the Party 7. Thanks, Matthew, for the raid. Hey, kids, welcome. How was your stream? What'd you guys do with Matthew? Matthew looks like he is kicking butt over there. Not going to let any code kick his butt. Today, the code and I are battling. We're going back and forth. Get a couple of these in, and the code's coming back with a little bit of a. It's okay. Working on to-do back-end implementation. Cool. Excellent. Well, thank you and welcome, kids. We are in the middle of implementing. Finish him. We are in the middle of of working on undo and redo using the command design pattern, and we're working with some challenges of it. One of the challenges is I've got a whole bunch of selected items with their own settings, and I'm changing all of them to one new setting. And if I undo, I've got to go back, find them all, and recover and restore all of them. And so we're kind of working on the architecture for that right now. And so the piece we're working on is hue shift. So we're going to change the hue shift. Stamp group. Okay, got it. And where else? And we're just here. This is the only place we're changing it, which is kind of interesting. Hue shift update timer elapsed, which is kind of also interesting because it's only called here and here, which means when we mouse up, it's never actually confirmed. I almost feel like we need something else. I worked with the to-do redo a little back in my heavy post-sharp days. Just like a mouse move should allow the value to change on screen, but the undo stack is only added when the mouse is up. Yes, I agree with you. That's what we're working on. Wild Genie's with us. Wild Genie, welcome. Glad to have you with us. Yeah, so I'm feeling like I want code that looks like, hold on. Let's go look at where we start the hue shift timer update. We have all of these. We have all these timers, saturation, lightness, and contrast. They're all there. The reason why is because they're really performant, intense pieces when we're adjusting the hue of like a large image. Let's go see when we started. We started here. Part of the interval on these is what? Where's my interval? It's about once every 10 seconds. So when we mouse up, within a tenth of a second, we are going to see an update. So it's not too bad. But we really need to know when that mouse up occurs. And we need to know when the mouse down kind of occurs too. So I think it looks like right around in this space here, we got a change in the slider. And I think we want to do something like this. What is it? We want to say start interactive change. I'm feeling it looks like that. And we do this right here. Like that. Start interactive change. There's my lightness. Start that one. There's my contrast. Okay. Feels like it's getting a little bit organized. Let's do this. Okay, so there's my interactive change. I'm going to drop a marker there. And then we got to figure out where we're going to undo it. Oh no. I think we need another event here. Do we have a... is there a committed? How do I know when the... So the values change as I'm sliding it, but how do I know when the mouse is up on a slider? Let's go see if there's an answer to this. Well, I know there's a mouse up. I'm sure there is, but I'm hoping that there's a discussion there. Drag completed event. I'm not going to worry about this because hands are on the mouse when using this app, so I'm not going to worry about changes through the key presses. If I was shipping this as an app to millions of people, I would absolutely worry about that, but I'm not. This is written for 1 or 2 people, this particular app. So drag completed. All right, cool. Thumb. Drag completed. Do I need a different one for each one? I think I might. Here comes Rory. Hey Rory, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, Mr. Miller. I'm doing very well indeed. Today is a good day. This week is going to be a good week. I can already see you making amazing progress.
Oh, wow. I always am doing so much better than I thought I was when you show up. Do you know that? It's just we see life very differently, I think. Right?
A bit of variety is good.
Yeah, I described it earlier as the Code and I are going like this. Hey, Code, come here, Code. And the Code's like, oh yeah? And
yeah,
I'm like,
but I see you as complete Karate Kid in that instance. You know, you've mastered your art at the end. You're dodging, you're weaving.
So let me tell you something. My daughter, who's, I guess you could use the word athlete. She's a dancer.
Okay.
She loves dance. When we came to Costa Rica, she was like, she was like, tiny. It was 3 years ago, and and she's like, I don't want to go into dance, and her mom's like, you want to go into dance? You're going into dance. Just try it. She's like, okay. She tries it. She like first year of competition, she goes out and she's winning awards.
Sweet.
Part of it's too because she got her mom's Muppet-like face, so she can convey emotion from a distance. Right, with those giant eyebrows and all of this going on.
I feel like that's a sentence you really needed to qualify towards the end.
Just to make sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's
I'm just thinking accusing people of being Muppet-like is not always considered a positive.
It's a positive in this family. This family, it's perfect.
Excellent.
Matthew says, "How is it not already following you?" I don't know, Matthew. Come on, how is it everyone not already following us? Copperbeardy's here. Copperbeardy is here, and
hey, Copperbeardy.
We don't have.
Looks
like we lost him. Yeah, this is bugging me. I am like, I've got breakpoints over here on errors, on all kinds of stuff. The only thing I'm not doing that I really need to do more of here is more diagnostics, but I totally have. So like if we're in overlays only. What is it? It's there's something in here called scene change. Sorry, kids. We're like change scene. Is that what I want to do? Scene change. That's not what I want. Well, actually, let's just see what happens. See if I can get a breakpoint here when I change the scene. Let's pop it over into. Yeah, it's like my OBS WebSocket is dead. Oh no, it's there. Okay, that got in. Okay, cool. We got the breakpoint. All right, so that one's working. Oh shoot, I wanted to check something when we got here. Let's change the scene again here. We'll go to not good. All right, so here we go. We're in here. We have somewhere in here. Where is it, Mr. Announcer Bot? I got some log. There's my log. What's in the log? 102 entries in the log. Oh, if only I had a way to really view these. No.
I believe there's an attribute you can put against a class which allows you to specify a string, I think, which effectively allows you to override the value column there. I can't remember what it is.
So what's going on here? Received, badges. There's Matthew Groves comes in. Received, badge into. So it's a bunch of data. Here's what came in. There's Rory Becker coming in. It's not errors like I'm expecting. Because this is one of the things. Writing Pong. What is that? Received ping. Writing Pong. I don't even know what's going on here on all of this. And I'm trying to figure out why we're not getting any messages anymore. And the music just stopped. Did it seriously stop? Are we at a breakpoint? Oh, we're at a breakpoint. That's why. Run again. Let's go set a breakpoint on chat message received. This is the problem we were having before. Using tab-to-next reference to work my way through this here. Handle command, Twitch on message received. Okay, Twitch client on message received. So if we, hey Genescu7, how you doing? We're working on fixing the, we're at least debugging. I'm just gonna send like the number 2 out across here. No event, not picked up. Breakpoint not received. So what happens is at some point our client gets hosed. Let's try something. I've got an idea. I've got actually a crazy idea. Okay, let's go back to our other, we're going to change scenes. Do we still have that breakpoint? We do. Okay, where were we? We were over in the background worker. Oh, the problem is in the background worker. Let's see. So our background worker is not getting any more messages. What about our announcer bot over here? Are we getting messages here? Let's go look at where we hook up these. Besides WebSocket, let's look at where we, I really want to, Twitch events, this is it. I want to see if these are on message received. Are we still getting them in this? So we've got 2 different DLLs. So I'm going to hit run. And I'm going to send out another number 2 or the number 1 now. Do we get a breakpoint here? It's hosed as well.
Yeah.
Look at that. What the what? All right. So what I want to do, the thing is that's cool though, is because I've got the OBS hook and it's still working, I can get to a breakpoint here that I thought I couldn't get to before. I can break in and actually look at data, and we can rehook those events and see if it fixes it. So what that means is I can create a scene that manually rehooks all the events, switch to that scene, check it, see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's do it. Here comes the scene switch right here. Oh, did I close? I cleared my event there. I think undo can get the breakpoint back. I just hit it. All right, let's go find it. Make sure OBS WebSocket scene changed. That's what I want. I want my breakpoint here, like that. And one more time, changing. Okay, here we go. We're at the breakpoint. I want to do something like this. I want to say, hey, look, if new scene name equals event reset, like that. Then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to call hook events, but I'm also going to set I think I also want to come in here and say system.diagnostics.debugger.break, like that. And why isn't it, where's hook events? Why doesn't it see hook events? Is it from the other one? Hook up Twitch events. That's what I want right there. Okay, hook up Twitch events like that. So now I'm going to just clear this and run. Then, give me a second here. I'm going to create a duplicate of this scene and call it event reset. Boom, done it. Now I'm going to switch to that scene. And we should get a breakpoint. Ha, sweet. Yeah. Look at this. Twitch is trying
self-healing system at this point.
I want to see what's going on. It says what's out there. I think it may not be that the vents need to be hooked up. The client itself has got a problem, I think.
Maybe so.
Is connected is true. Is initialized is true. Join channels. It's Code Rush, kids. Now, these are some events we're not listening to. On self-rate error, on ritual, on unaccounted for. These we might be interested in hooking up these. Right here. Previous whisper. Alpha Metal's in here. Walter White. I wonder how many times you've heard that. Only on this show. I need my little hat. Everything will be good. How was the storm over the weekend up by you? Actually, I don't know if you heard this or not, but Rory himself, he was up on the roof with an umbrella, and he made it to the States faster than the British Airways flights. He was flying like at about 840 miles per hour. Relative speed to the wind, he was going about 1 or 2. So he didn't actually, have the sound bubble behind him. I think. Is that true, Rory, or no?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Yes, there's been some weather, shall we say.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. What do I got? I don't think the events are my problem. I think I want to recreate my client is what I think I want to do. I want to call initialize connections. I want to call this again. And we need to unhook the events because we don't want them to be called twice. Okay, because we do this more than once, that might be bad. So let's do a couple things here. I'm aware the music stopped and things have kind of stopped because we're doing this. We're going to call this unhook Twitch events like that. And I just want these to be, the plus equals to be minus equals like this. Plus equals, change to minus equals and do them everywhere. Okay, so there's my unhooked Twitch events. So where were we? We were here.
We're going to call it unhook events, and then we're going to call initialize connections, was it?
Yeah, I think it's what it is, initialize connections.
Which seems pretty reasonable as a sequence.
Yeah, let's do it and see what happens. Boom. Now, the question is now, can I launch a drone? Am I getting, let's see if we're getting, with after calling initialize connections, because holy cow. Whoops. Oh, we're recalling this. I wanted to say, oh no, that's not what I want. I don't want that. That's just doing this. I don't want this. Hold on.
Hang on. Didn't we have...
It's twitch.initialize connections. That's what I
okay.
want. Twitch.initialize connections is there. The hook events is this one down low. I was thinking I was in a couple different places. No worries. All right, hold on. So we're going to go back in. We're going to get our breakpoint again. Here comes our breakpoint. Okay. This is going to be twitch.initialize connections. And then we want to we want to come back in and hook the Twitch events, I think, is what we want to do.
Is it not doing that from inside there?
No, I don't think so. Twitch.initialize connections is down low.
Oh, okay.
So it says hook events.
There it is. Hook
But
events. Is it the same thing?
it's this one. It's the down low inside
okay.
Twitch right here. So then coming back up, normally let's see what happens when we call it here. We call initialize connections, which also connects to OBS, but we don't need that, and then calls hookup Twitch events. So I'm skipping this. I don't want to do this because I already have got the WebSocket created. So that's what I'm going to do now. Let's see if it's any better. F10. Hit F10, I thought. Are we running? We're just running. I can't tell. I'm going to just send the number 1. Do I have that breakpoint down on that event? Come on. Where's that event? Message.
About recent locations using your, I forget what it's called on the left.
Code places?
Yeah. There's certainly a call to unhook. Right, so we have to change the scene to create this
I'm going to do it one more time.
event.
Thought I did. Oh yeah, I'm changing the scene now. We're not getting the scene changed events anymore. I think.
Did we break all the things?
Feel like we did. Oh no, wait, we're getting it this time.
Okay.
Just debugger break wasn't happening. Unhook Twitch events. Boom. Initialize connections. Let's go in here.
I have noticed we're not unhooking the events that we're about to hook in hook events.
Yeah, and remind me now, I've got to change my OAuth token now because that's on while I'm going live there. All right, so we'll do that. Yeah. It's coming in a second time. What did you say, Rory? Say it again.
You've got a hookup events method, which only hooks up 2 events, but I don't believe we have a corresponding unhook events that we're calling. So we'll have hooked it
down
twice.
below? Unhook events. Yes, I agree. Let's go look at that too. Okay. Yeah, we're not at a breakpoint now, are we? Okay. Well, I feel like we have not taken a step forward. I would hope like we were close, and then we were not. So, switching the scene one more time. Yeah, I'm not getting the breakpoint anymore. Event reset. It's not coming in. Okay. All right. Let's try manually doing this. Okay, yeah, it's weird. It's like that debugger.break isn't actually working all the time, it seems. So the WebSocket change is happening here. Initialize Twitch connection, or sorry, initialize connections comes in, hooks everything. Yeah, let's jump in here. We'll step through it again, take a look at that. Yeah, there's like nothing, no seeming errors in here. What's going on in Twitch client? Yeah, that's outside of my code base. Okay. And the hook events is the thing we were talking about before. We could unhook these. We can at least fix that part right there. Unhook events here. Put the minus equals on both of these and just call it automatically ever at the beginning. Because there's no harm in unhooking event that's not there. There's no error in that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. So we can do that to keep those from accumulating. Yeah, I think we got to restart. Oh, now it's giving it to me? Or just gets it to me twice when the scene changes? Is that what it is? Moving away, changing the scene.
Possible.
There's 1, hit run, and 2. Why am I getting 2? It's, I think, because we did this. We called this accidentally because we called this one.
Oh, you're right, we did.
I think that's what it is. Okay, I'm going to run it
So
again.
This runtime, we've got 2 copies of being hooked up, as it were.
Yeah, disappointing. I'm like, I feel like we're getting close, and this is like, all right. So let's see. Let's go to... Start shutting these down. And we'll restart, because that's definitely the one that fixes this problem. Shut that down. Shut that down. Kill Chrome. Start up the overlays. Yeah, it's about a 2-minute process, the restart of everything on this. It's like this whole thing is like, what is going on? Like, this would be a better show if that were not happening. And it's only just started happening in the last like 3 months or so. Happens about once a show, about an hour or so into it, we lose it, and there was no code changes that in response to it. Jeff Fritz thinks it has something to do with some new changes to their API, and I'm not entirely convinced of that because I've looked at those as well, and nothing popped out. So, all right, so we got that running. Let's go start up our D&D map. No, not that one. Our D&D app, which is already running. Let's close it down, and we will restart it here. Coverbeardy says, I've selected out of this year's sunflowers and named the one after the stream, your stream, the one I picked sprout with 3 leaves. The one I picked sprout with 3 leaves instead of 2, so it's a bit extra. Okay, nice. I like that. The extra one is named after our stream. That's awesome. Get us a shot of that, Copperbeardy, with like a little label on it. By the way, so there's a tip for you kids. I'm holding in my hand something called gaffer's tape. This is I was introduced to gaffer's tape at USC Film School, and this stuff is like a cloth tape. It's you can get it white or black. I prefer white because I use it for labeling. But check this out. It tears easily like that in a straight line. You can stick it to things and then peel it off later. And it doesn't. It's sticky, but it doesn't pull off like paint and things like that.
Yeah.
And you can write on it. So it's like perfect for writing something important and labeling things. So that's my ad
I think
for...
in the UK we also know that as masking tape.
Really?
Possibly. It might be the same stuff. Looks like the same color that I've seen.
This is cloth. What we call masking tape here is paper. And this is...
Oh, is that cloth?
Yes,
okay.
it's
No,
much stronger, right? So I'm like, if I pull it like this or like this, it's not coming apart. But if I tear it, right, it'll tear in a straight line.
No, the masking tape I was talking about is definitely sort of paper derivative. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this
So
is
a different thing.
This is a cloth tape. It is awesome. It's called Gaffer's tape, Gaffers, and it is awesome for using things around the house. At the last minute, I used it on the bottom of my keyboard to keep it from moving, so I could get a straight shot here. And I was able to fix all that up in a short amount of time. So with that, oh look, we've got it on Twitch client on message received. So now we're getting these again. So I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, now we're getting them because it's a restart. And there's Copper Beauties. Fanfare. Oops, sorry, I took it away. I was like, oh, I'm going to switch over to players over there. Copper Beardy, I stole it from you. I stole it from everyone. We'll play it a little later, maybe. Genescu 7, we'll get that the next time Genescu 7 says something, I think. Yeah, yeah, this is like, I'm vexed by by this problem. And it definitely feels like it's happening outside our domain, right? It's just the event's not being called anymore. It's as if something is telling it, hey, I don't want to hear from you. All right, so back over to the map here, the map app. So we got this thumb drag completed. There's my contrast slider, lightness slider. It's got one. Saturation slider has it. And does my hue slider have it? It does not. New event handler. Wait, I only noticed saturation slider. Oh, I don't have it here. I thought I had it here. I think I was looking at the other event handlers there, Rory, and conflating them with something that I thought we needed and had that we had already, but that was not correct. Okay. All right, there's my new event handler there. So now what do we do in these? This is the next question. So with these completed, we want to, let's go look at our hue.
Have we got a corresponding started?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, we just added that code like about 40 minutes ago before we started looking at the other problem. Hue slider. Well, we can kind of find our way through by tab to next reference through to find. Here's our start right here. Hue shift
Doesn't that happen though every time a value changes? So as you're dragging,
oh geez, you're right.
Across. You could create when it. You could have a command. Don't know if it'd be static or not, but create the command in there, store the initial value, but only do it if the command is not null in the first place. That way, you'd be doing a lot of null testing, but not a lot of doing anything except that first time.
Yeah, I kind of am feeling something like that. Yeah, let's go into lightness here. I'm playing with this space right here for a second though. Right here. And then we're going to say, oh, come on, Pudding. I'm serious. I'm trying to write code. No. Nobody can see the code, Pudding. Oh, look at that. Fred showing up.
Two Freds.
Fred, get rid of this one. And let's get, where's Fred? Dragon front right there. Made some, yeah, I've decided that OBS has got some mistaken implementations in the way they're calculating positions of stuff that makes things hard. Also, by the way, OBS does not have undo and redo. They totally need to watch this show. figure out how to do that. Pudding, how you doing? Pudding says it's my show now, at least for 10 seconds. Yeah. All right, so now what I want to do is do this. I want to say, hey, if interactive change ID is equal to name, which I probably want to rename to like change name, I guess, at least. How's it going for you? You just woke up. Cool. Then I'm going to get out of here. And then otherwise, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to, whoops, set that to that. And then I want to do something else. There's my marker there. Okay. So now we've got only one start. Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
And then when we're done, also, we want to, down in this space, we want to have a function here called stop interactive change, I think. How you doing, baby?
Hi, Mark Miller.
How you doing?
I'm great.
You want to say hi to everybody? I was talking about everybody, the Muppet face of our family members.
Oh, the actual Muppets that we
Yeah,
have?
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
the fact that we all look like Muppets?
No, that we all look like Muppets. I was talking about that.
We also
Well,
look back when
your children. My children.
Your children look like Muppets?
Well,
Are
that's
you
because they
kidding
were
me?
born from you.
No.
Oh, boy.
All of them. They have exaggerated features and like, yeah, they do. And big eyebrows.
I was talking about how our daughter is like a dancer and she can go up and do all of this stuff, but she's kind of an athlete. And I didn't even finish the story. I just realized, but I was telling a story. Something Rory was talking about something. I don't remember what it was that got me on the story.
She is
but
a
I
crazy
just
good dancer.
anyway, she's an athlete and her coach at school for what's it called?
Oh, Ninja Warrior.
Ninja
Okay.
Warrior. She's
So-
taking Ninja Warriors at school.
Wait, little
Nice.
background here, kids.
No, wait. The story's much better if you're not in the room.
Okay, little background here, kids. Her coach for Ninja Warriors is an incredibly fit guy and who's probably 30,
Oh, brother.
right? Who also, by the way, is unrealistically good looking, right? He's
Yeah,
like
he's improbably gorgeous.
uncomfortably good looking.
Like he looks
right?
like if Jesus Christ was a model,
Right.
that's what he looks like.
Right.
And alive in his young 20s ish.
Yeah.
Right.
Intoxicatingly good looking.
Like he walks
right?
in the room and I'm just like, come on, get
It's
out of here.
ridiculous.
What are
It's
you?
ridiculous.
Nobody.
Nobody even wants to talk to him. Like it's too much.
I just go, I run up and I just kick him in the balls when he
Punch
comes
him.
in.
We should
I'm
punch
like, why are you doing that?
That's just dumb.
This is a family
You're
show,
not
so
even
you
of the
can't
same
say that
species.
anymore. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
Don't-
wait, what can I say? Punch?
No, you can't say kick him in the.
You said that.
Oh,
would
did I say
never
that?
Say that.
I'm pretty sure.
I would
Check
never
the
say
check
that.
the recording.
So anyway, Mark Miller might be like the slightest bit jealous of this guy for no obvious reason, but might be
No.
the slightest bit jealous of this guy.
Nah, not
Right?
at all.
So every Ninja Warrior thing that comes up. Also, Mark Miller, not 30 anymore, right? But every Ninja Warrior test that comes up, Mark Miller's like
Story would have been so much better if I had been the one telling it.
slack line crossing.
Without, you know.
So he tries several times till he
Embellishments.
finally gets across the slack line and he makes his young
I
daughter
tried
film
once.
it.
I tried once,
Every
not several
time.
times. I tried once,
His poor
and
daughter is
the
like,
camera's
"It's okay, Daddy.
still running, and I get right back on,
You're still a human being worthy of respect.
and I make it across. Now, Gia, my daughter, is holding my hands for like about a little bit, but then I do the whole thing all by myself, and then I start, giving Moses
Allegedly.
uh,
He allegedly does the whole thing by
a
himself.
tough time. No, you can see it. It's on the video. And I give him a tough time in the camera because for whatever reason, he when my daughter had done it, he was sweeping and didn't see it.
No,
so I'm
it
like,
gives him a tough time. So he's like, "Look at you, you little sweeper!
You're sweeping,
not doing
Moses.
Nothing but sweeping
You're
all
not
the time.
looking- yeah.
You little sweeper, sweep."
so anyway, I'm giving him a hard time.
Anyway, it was the weirdest thing.
I would have omitted these details, by the way. There's a much more interesting part of the story coming up.
So then another challenge comes up, which is there's two sets of stairs going to the second story of the school, and if you can go up and down these stairs
5 times, you
less than 30 seconds.
30 seconds. That's the goal. And I'm like, I'm asking my daughter, what's her time? Her time is like 32 seconds. And I'm like, what's Moses' time on it? She's like, he got like 28, 29 seconds. I'm like, interesting. So I apply, my usual, parallel
Cheating.
processes, cheating in everything I do, right? Where I go try to attack the problem with all ways I can. And so I go do it, and I'm running up and down. And I'm like stopping 4 steps before the bottom stair, but using my extra long legs to tap the bottom stair, and then just immediately change direction. And changing direction short at the top too. And
His advice to his daughter is, don't do it in bare feet. You could get 2 inches on the soles of your sneakers.
Yeah.
And over 5 times. That's this many.
you're going up and down 5 times. That's like you're shortening your track by this range, and which means you're going to get a faster time. Yeah, I'm telling her with her.
Not that we're competitive.
Not that we're competitive.
The
27 seconds.
Joys in the journey.
55-year-old guy, 27 seconds. All I'm saying, you may be improbably gorgeous, but 29 seconds, you should hang your head in shame, Moses, because you're a sweeper. You sweep and you don't pay attention when people are going across the slack line. You didn't see my daughter, Moses, because you're a sweeper.
You might have some issues. But wait, who's married to me?
I am.
You are.
That's right. Boom, people.
Bam.
That's it. Should we write some code? Anybody want to get back to the code? Yeah, let's get back to the code.
Back to the code.
All right, let's do that. Roy, how are you doing, buddy? I never really checked in with you. You doing good?
I'm good.
That was abusive. I'm sorry. I try to keep that abuse just to myself. She's coming back. She's coming back.
Oh,
Look out.
This is your sexy keyboard shot?
Yeah, this is pretty cool. You like that? That's not bad.
Me gusta.
Yeah, your head is kind of off screen. You're kind of blocking.
Wait, can
you're
you
kind of
see
blocking
my
me.
eye?
Yeah, just your eye. Okay, do you have something to do? Do you have work to do? Aren't you like a teacher? All right.
I am.
Ah!
I have a brand new music class I'm teaching starting in a couple of hours.
Okay. All right. Give me a kiss. All right. See you later. I love you. All right. So stop interactive change. We want to call this from, and inside this, whoops, interactive change ID is going to equal to null, like that. Oh, I wish there was a nully. That would be fun. So we're going to call stop interactive change at least on all these. And then there's something else. Inside of the update, it calls the elapsed. This is kind of where we need to complete things. All right, I think, all right, we're going to come back here in a second. I think let's go where our, where's the start one? There it is right there. Let's cut both of these and put them down by this one so they're close in proximity to each other. Like that. Now from here, I want to go, so these are kind of both working together here. Where's the other ones we were doing that had the execute command? There it is right there. So I think it's going to look like this. Execute command. We're going to call this hue shift. Hue shift to apply. Sweet. Okay. So we're going to say execute command, hue shift to apply. And that's going to be instead of all this. And I don't think I need that. Let's see. Oh, and now here's where I want to use the new double data. And I want to pass in the hue shift to apply. Okay. Now,
So what was the new double data? Was that another derivative of a command?
No.
A thing to be on the stack?
it's just a DTO that holds a double. That's all it is.
Written a class to hold a double.
Yeah, I told you kids would go nuts. But the reason I did is because I really like I like the code that's going to happen later.
Okay.
Let's go into
Saying there's a payoff that'll make this look impressive.
no, not that much. Hue change command. Let's go look at hue change command. It's going to look like this. If data is double data, like this, then we're going to say and then we're going to say stamp properties dot hue shift equals double data. Let's call this value or new hue, like this, like that.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what this code looks like. Or sorry, new hue dot value, like this. So that's what it looks like. So all I'm doing is I just want all the code here. I didn't want to say, hey, if it's this, I didn't like that. I liked instead creating these classes because I could then have all these classes have an ancestor I want and then actually typecast data to the ancestor. I just felt it was way more flexible, and I felt like we were going to have problems if I was going to just send a double in. It's arguably they both could work, but I felt happier making this similar and more consistent with every other undo and redo that was storing more data than just a single double. So that's kind of what's going on. Yeah, I know it's not everybody would agree with it, but it's okay because it's like that's what felt right to me. All right, undo. Now we've got this. So and down here, we're going to say get value, like that. That's going to return a double of stamp properties dot GUID. No, what's this? Oh, just the stamp properties. Okay, cool. All right. So that's my that's my undo, and my redo goes in the forward direction. Since we're using data, it just occurred to me in the ancestor class, I don't really need this. Or instead, I could do this. Like that. And in my call to prepare, or in my redo right here, sorry, not there, in base stamp absolute value, I can now override that. So at the beginning of the show, I was like, let's make these virtual, and now I'm exploiting it. Go to base of map. And then what I want to do here, sorry, base.redo of map, like that. And then here, I want to do something like this. If data is data double, is that what I called it? Double data. Okay. And then we want to call the base like that. So the base is going to call activate redo. That's what it's going to do. So we're just setting up that data for the restore is what we're doing. To do when we solve our borrowed time problem. It should be here.
So to zoom out from this a little bit. We're building an undo redo stack. Each element in the stack, or the two sort of halves of the stack, is a command. The command contains inherently knowledge on how to do the operation, but at the same time as doing the operation, if necessary, it is now going to record previous values, and that's what this base class is doing here, so that when the undo happens, it can restore, say you set 5 different things to a hue of very red, but they didn't all start off at the same value. You're not going to restore them all to the same value. You're going to restore them all to the individual values that they started with, which will be stored in the undo values of this base class.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just blocking and reporting this guy. Spam. There we go. Yeah, could be a bot.
We don't like no spam.
There we go. Sending that out. Go. Oh, geez, really? You're taking me? They're making me fill out like all these pages. See my answers.
Because I said so.
Yeah, just like make it fast. All right, blocked. Good. Okay, there we go. All right, and how do I remove that tweet or that from the chat? Is there a way to do that? I don't see that. See if you can find that way to do that. The one to become famous one.
It's loaded now.
Grilled spam and cheese sandwiches are a nice thought. Okay. So, sorry, Roy, I was distracted at the end of that. So I got halfway through what you were saying to me.
Well, essentially, you're preparing each element on your stack to contain the full amount of information it needs to undo itself.
Yes. It's data and it's command execution. It knows what to modify. So yeah, so in the redo for the base stamp absolute value command, so it's something that modifies absolute values. I'm storing in the where is it? Where am I storing the values here? Save value, where's that called? In prepare for execution. Oh, I'm storing the values here. In prepare for execution. So I have to store each value in the descendants. So if I'm going to change the hue, I'm going to save the hue. That's what's happening here. And that means I'll later be able to call get value right down here and when I activate the undo. So prepare for execution is called, here, let's go up to base here on this. Let's put an XML comment in here. Called just before the first time execution of a command. So this allows, this is your chance to save data for the undo. Okay, if needed. So, and normally with all the other ones, Rory, and I talked about this at the beginning, I'm not sure if you saw this or not, but all the other undos that we built so far, the data we save is used in both directions. So we have data like for a scale, we multiply going forwards and we divide going backwards.
It's a function of the operation, not of the source that you're operating against.
Yes, and so if I have 5 different images selected, all at different scales, and I now scale them up, they all are scaling up by the same value. So we don't. So when we undo, we just take the value and we divide instead of multiply. That's what we've done so far. We have a new set of challenges we're working on today, which are if I've got, like, for example, all these different hues and I now change all of them to something, well, it's different deltas for each one.
Yeah.
So I need some way of saving the original data. So that's what prepare for execution does. And so now in our descendant class of hue change command, look out. Hey, got 2 friends? One of them's going away. Jetsum's in the house. All right, Jetsum's
Welcome, Jetsum. Greetings, my friend.
Yeah, Jetsum does not come in as aggressively as Pudding. I just want to say, and I appreciate that, Jetsum. Thank you. Pudding is like, it's my show. Welcome to the Pudding Show.
My pudding.
Yeah, like, okay, we see your pudding. Can we move on? Okay. So anyway, I just want to say, kids, 27 seconds versus 29 for the Ninja Warriors teacher. I'm not saying the guy needs to work out a little bit to catch up with this 55-year-old guy. Maybe a little bit. A pudding show. It's a spinoff. Okay, so where are we? Let's build. We've had so many interruptions and distractions. I am not sure if we are build succeeded. If we've done everything we need to do. Hue change command. I kind of feel like this is right.
It's totally plausible.
Hue change. Are we asking for it at the right time? Let's go over here. Hue change. That should be hue change. And hue shift to apply. Oh, no, we haven't done everything. This is the problem. We are going to have a... Well, let's run it, and I'll show you the problem we have. Let's see if it works, first of all. When you see it, you'll be like, oh, yeah. I got it. I know what we missed. You're right. In fact, Rory, all you have to do is just knowingly kind of just nod right now. And you'll be like,
well,
oh, yeah.
Obviously, I've been doing that.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Could you not see?
Yeah, no, I didn't notice that. All right, let's hold on a second. Let me. So this is our mini dungeon right here.
Yeah.
Let's decorate the floor here for a second. Let's give it so we've got something that looks kind of realistic. Let's give it some tile like that, and we'll throw some dirt over here like that. There's some dirt. Okay, it's probably not as good for color change though. Let's grab some magic. And let's throw something like this down. It's a little big. All right, let's make it even smaller. All right, I think I got another one here. I dropped 2 of these here. All right, here we go. So we're going to bring this up and we're going to change the hue. Now, when I pause it, it should update. There, it's updated. So we just created an undo element. And now another one. And another one. And another one. My mouse is still down though. When I hit escape, when I finally get it, like, I don't know. What's my color I want? There, I release. Now, if this works, and I hit undo, let's see if we can get the change to restore itself. Nope. Why not? It's totally worked. Is it not finding it? Yeah, we can change colors, Pudding. Hold on. Let's see if this is working. Create instance. Does it get one? It does. Sets its data to the double data. Returns the command. So far, so good. Here's execute command. Redo stack clear. Okay. Undo stack push the new command. And now we're executing the command. It works on stamps. Good. Stamps layer. Begin update. Show selected stamps. Okay, no biggie. Now we're executing for the first time. That's what we're expecting to be in. Selected stamps. Cool. Prepare for execution. This should save the data. There we go. There's our hue shift. So our existing one is 162. And we've done that. Then we do a redo call. Checks to see if it's a double. If it is, there's my return. So we're going to like we're going in, this is where we're going in our existing save. Hold on. Is 162. So 162 is where we're going from. We're now setting it to 91. All right. Okay. So we set it there. The code's working like we wanted it to do. Okay. Activate redo. We're calling. Now we're in hue change command. We're going to go through the selected stamps. There's one of them. And there's the change. There you can see both values.
And we've already stored the old one. We're going to set the 91 in this case.
Yeah. we've got that. Stamp properties use shift. That's making the change. The undo is the piece that's not working. Oh wait, I think I know why.
Okay.
I think I totally know why. Because this is saved in this command, but this command, wait, is this command added to the stack? Hold on. No, this should be added to the stack. Hold on. Okay, so the forward is actually working. We need the undo is what we need to work. I just want to make sure we're not creating a second instance of it when we come in, and if we are, hold on. Is that my problem? So that's working there. Let's see what happens when we do the undo. Yeah, we're just undoing the command that we're popping, so it should have the data. Good, good, good. I thought I was thinking for a second we were creating a new one. All right, well, let's set a breakpoint here for the undo. So let's run. And it's got another one in here, I guess. Another hue change. All right. And let's bring it over here, actually. So all of these are creating entries. The undo now should work. I hit Control Z. Hue change command. There it is right there. Let's go look at what's going on with it. Does it work on stamps? Yes, it does. Begin update. Show selected stamps. Good. Here's our undo. Activate undo. Whoa, selected stamps is 0 because I deselected it.
So where do selected stamps come from the perspective of the command?
I think it's set. I thought it was held on to. I thought it was set here and never set again. Hold on a second. Oops. I want to see all the assignments for this. Yeah, it's only set here.
Right, so you've got a switch statement there somewhere that switches on the type of execution. So the type of, there's an undo and a redo.
Yeah.
When you do the undo, it passes in or does an execution, passing in no, it doesn't pass in selected stamps.
It does here.
It does there, but that'll be the right set, and we know it is because it's affecting it. So that's strange.
That doesn't quite make sense to me. Let's run it again. All right, so I'm going to select it. What's my command? My move command. Oh, okay. All right, run it. There it is there. 1. Let's adjust the hue now. All right, there's my hue change command. Selected stamps has got 1 in it. It's got 1.
Well, if nothing else is setting it, then somehow we have to have it's got to be a different command.
No, wait, hold on. Hold on. When we're not copying this in here. We're not copying this. This is just a reference to the selected stamps.
Oh, and anything holding it outside can empty that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hold on a second. Let me just run a second. Let me let's verify that. So we need to copy it. We got some problems with this anyway. Let me hit undo now and run it. Hold on. We might have been working the whole time. Let me just clear some of these breakpoints here. It's just that we have a problem with selection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, undo. Let's try again. Yeah, there we go. It's doing it on its own. Control Z.
So it works as long as you don't deselect the item in
Yeah.
between.
So 1, 2, 3, and then Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Yeah, so it's working as long as there's a selection.
Cool.
Okay. All right, let's fix the selection problem. I think that's more interesting. We were talking that we were going to have problems with that anyway.
Yeah.
All right, let's go find where that's...
Well, didn't we say that because of other things we want to do vis-a-vis the creation and deletion potentially of stamps in any given undo stack sequence, that we really need to be holding on to not an actual list of references anyway, but a list of GUIDs.
Yep, and that's what we're going to do right now. So my selected stamps, this right here, we need to make sure it's good when we call prepare for execute, when we call redo and undo. Okay, so right here and here, hold on, let's do a redo right here. And let's do like this. All right, so now what we need is we need to say, make sure selected stamps are good.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hold on. Let's do this. Let's add backing store to it. Oh, it doesn't like that. During edit and continue? Fine. I'm going to kill it. Okay. I'm just going to use the property, and I'm going to let me drop a marker here. We'll come back to this in a second. In redo and undo, I'm going to say invalidate selected stamps, like this. So we'll do that there, and I'm going to do it here. And let's declare that. And then we're going to set, oops, looks like I lost Rory. Hopefully he'll call right back. We'll see what happens. We'll let him do that, control that call. What kind of sorcery is this? Is that some sort of shader? No, I'm actually manually putting a manually 5,000 points to see this 27-second wonder. Any special rewards for the channel points? Yeah, channel points, we need to word that. And Chris Spear is out there. Hi, Chris Spear. Okay, let's see here. Invalidate selected stamps. What do I want to do? I want to take these and set it to null. Like this. Okay. This is all in base command. So this is we're gonna fix this cross board for all the commands that work with selected stamps. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna say
Geniscu 7, where are you? We need your help.
Geniscu 7.
Oh, yeah,
I have.
Uh-oh. There we go. There we go. All right, not bad. Hey, Geniscu 7. Stand back. Let's see if this works. It worked. Welcome, Geniscu 7. Glad to have you back with us here. Okay, selected stamps is null. Then we're going to say load selected stamps. Like that. And then that's going to come down over here. Create a new method, load selected stamps. And down here, I want to say, let's create a new instance of this. And then I want to say selected stamps. Then I want to say map dot. No, don't I have a map? So I am not saving my map reference. Okay. So I got to change this up a little bit here. All right, we're going to undo this, make it back to auto implemented. Load selected stamps needs a map. passed in. And then we're going to say map dot get stamps. It's going to look like this. Select the stamps is equal to get stamps, and we're going to pass in our good stamp goods, which I haven't created yet, like that. So here I'm going to have a new list of goods called stamp goods, like that. Okay, we need to create this inside a map. We also need to call load selected stamps instead of calling invalidate selected stamps. Well, I guess I can do that. No, this. That's what I'm going to do instead. All right. Looks like we lost Rory. Lost power. Sorry, Rory. This is like every scene from every movie where the hero gets loses his magic power and then finds out that he had it all along. He could do it. Rory, I've lost you. I can't fly. I can't fly, Rory. Rory's like, you could do it, Mark. You could do it. All right. So load selected stamps. We're going to do that for both. Well, for the, we need to do it in both directions. For the redo, we need to do it. The undo, we need to do it too, I think. All right. So then I'm going to go in. I need to do one other thing in my. Execute. Prepare for execution. Yeah, I think I could do that there. I think I just need a... Let's add a parameter here. Do that instead. Use that local because it's the same variable. And then right here, what I want to do is I want to come in and I say, hey, do a for each here. Up here, I would call it stamp goods, clear. And then we want to come in and say, hey, stamp goods.add. And add stamp properties .GUID. Okay. All right. So there's our prepare for execution. Get stamps. We need to implement this. All right. So I think the code looks like that. We create a new list of these. And we add the first one that we find that's got the matching GUID. That should solve our selection problem, I think. Let's run it and see what happens. All right. All right. Let's just run it for a little bit here and see what we got here. Move, undo. Select this one instead. Redo. Good. Doesn't change the selection. Select both. Resize. Oh wait, this was interesting. Oh wow. What have I done? Does it not have a good GUID? It should have a good GUID. Does that mean if I move also? Oh, look at that. Wow, the one that's selected is not changing. What happens if I get a second one here? Wow, changing this changes that one? The copy also changed its GUID, gave me the same GUID when I did the copy. It just occurred to me. So we've got a couple of problems here that I need to solve here. This is the most remarkable one right here. Let's step into it and see what's going on with that. It's got a GUID of all zeros. It's also got a GUID of all zeros. I think because I loaded them. Hold on. I think the problem is that I've got all zeros here, so it's just modifying the first one. Let's clear all of those and add some new items here. Let's go. Let's add some statues in here. Oh, no. It's all of these are GUIDs of all zeros? I thought we said new GUID. Did I just not do that? Or maybe, you know what it is? I bet it's this. Stamp is in stamp base. Base stamp, sorry. What's my GUID? The constructor was down here at the bottom. Am I just not setting it? I thought I was totally setting it. Forget what it is. Is this going to work, or is it GUID.from? I don't think I want, yeah, GUID.new GUID. Okay, I think that's what I want. Let's try and run it. Let's delete this. Clear the breakpoint, run it. Delete this. And try one more time. Drop two new ones out here. Okay, resize this. There we go. Now they're morphing as expected. Resize that. Select both. Resize both. There we go. Okay. So it's just that we weren't creating the GUIDs. Okay, so now let's go in to the hue shift. And I happen to pick two grayscale things, so we can't really work with those. We need something colorful. Here we go. And hue shift this. All right, so here's the hue shift. Let's click away, undo, undo, undo. Nice. Redo, redo, redo. Undo, undo, undo. redo, 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 undo, undo, undo. It works. Okay, so that is, we're fixed with regards to with that. Let's let's create a copy of it though. I think we're gonna have a problem when we copy it. If I click and drag and do this, and now we modify this, flip, only this one's flipping, but let's now try the undo. Still, because it's the first one, let's come up here and flip. Wait, did we get a different, because when we copied, we got a new GUID. So we're good. We're good, we're good, we're good. It's the load, I think we're gonna have some problems with it. Let's try it. Let's make this one kind of red, and this one up here kind of blue. Like that. Let's do a save. I just did a save. I forget what the name of this file is. It's Lava Small. Okay. All right. So let's now open. Let's open just one of these. Let's go back and look at the other one. Lava Small. And now let's see what happens if I drag and undo, undo. Oh, it's still working. The GUIDs are not saved. It's just creating brand new GUIDs for each one. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's okay. That's totally fine. Undo, 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 undo. What's happening here? Uh-oh. Why do we have that problem? I'm not sure what happened there. All right, let's do this. I don't know. I'm a little bit, got some mixed feelings on this. Do I want the exception to just get thrown here? Do I want to handle it higher? Yeah. Let's see what it happens again. See if we can get it to trigger again. All right, using edit and continue only, we can go in and add the rest of these, because right now saturation changes aren't undoable. If I add undo and redo, it's doing the moves, and it'll do hue shifts like this. So now I can do undo, undo, but it's not going to get the saturation. So there's the moves, and there's the hue shift at the end. But the hue shifts are not. Saturation and light are not. So let's fix those. Those are not hard to fix. Waveways, thanks for the follow. All right, we want this here. Update stamp selection UI, I don't think it's needed. That's going to happen automatically, I think, as a result of the change. I'm looking for my execute. It's the works on stamps one. There it is. Yeah, so I don't need it in the here. I don't need it here. All right, let's use that and continue to get saturation and add saturation, lightness, and contrast into the undo redo stack. So let's adjust the hue to get our breakpoint. I guess saturation. There it is. Let's clean this up. Let's grab this. Oh shoot, we can't. I just realized because we don't have a lightness change built yet. So let's go ahead and stop it. We're going to build those classes that we need for hue, saturation, and lightness. They're going to look somewhat similar to these. All right. Just marking the pieces I want to change. Then I'm going to hit copy here. Is that going to work? No, it won't. Shoot. I have to select the whole thing. What are you working on? Ask Waveways. We are working on a Dungeons & Dragons map editor in C# right now. That's what we're in. We're implementing the command design pattern so that we can get... Did I get all of them? I think I did. Selection increase and now copy to the clipboard. A command design pattern so we can implement undo and redo. So I'm now adding undo and redo for lightness, like this. And I'm just using Code Rush, although this is what? It's probably just lightness. Just lightness. Like that. That's what it is. And that's also lightness. Lightness change command one more time. Yeah, it looks nice. Well, it's not bad. Working on it. We're getting through it. Let me just grab these one more time. And that. Selection increase. Copy to the clipboard. There's my lightness. Here comes saturation. Like that. And then paste again. And here comes contrast. So those are my 4 classes for working with those. I've got hue change command in there, lightness change. Let's go move this to its own file. Saturation change command. Let's move it to its own file. And finally, contrast change command. Let's move it to its own file. Back over in this space, this code becomes something that looks like this. We're going to pass in the data saturation change to apply, or saturation to apply, and we'll call it saturation change, like that. And all this code goes away. Okay? Same thing with lightness change. Okay, and finally contrast change. So not only is the code dropping in size, but it's gaining functionality, right? Getting now all of these things that worked to change things are now being added to the undo redo stack. Let's run it. Okay, got a small little test map up here. Okay, so now if I would change saturation, like that, like, whoops, there's my hue change, sorry. Change my saturation, make it really intense, and over here, drop it down, and now hit undo. What? Undo. Oh, there we go. It did it. Undo again. Undo. 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 I think we're at the beginning of the stack right there. All right, let's try one more time. Saturation drop here. Let's do a saturation drop here. And then let's come over here, increase contrast, and come down here and decrease contrast. And now let's undo, 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 undo. Let's try a redo, 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 redo. Seems like right here, there's an extra step. And there's, it's, I wonder if it's a move. There might have been a small move there when I clicked and selected it. That might be happening here. I wonder if I actually can see, is there any movement here? I don't see any movement. Yeah, Pudding, if you're still out there with us, one of my favorite adjusts is the contrast adjust, which is essentially my own algorithm for determining contrast based on the lightness setting here. And I think it's not bad. It's I think pretty good. So now I should be able to undo all those. Yeah. So that's pretty good. And then keep undoing all the way back till we get full color when we start it. So now we've added all of those elements to the undo and redo, which is not bad. What else do we have? We have these over on the sides to do, and we have the these two here. And then we get into the hard part, the challenging part, which I think we might do tomorrow, just based on timing. The hard part is what happens if I make some changes, 1, 2, 3, then I delete, right? Now I undo, which I don't have support for delete, and it rebuilds one for me. Yeah, I can't find it. It's got no matching element. When I recreate that, I've got to recreate it to have the exact same. I got to fix the delete and the. Here, let's come over here. Let's set the breakpoint to this line right here. Set next statement. And we are in what class are we in? We're in the move command. Yeah, so it's trying to move something that doesn't exist as part of the undo. So we can't undo that because we need to create it. So we'll fix that. I think I want to implement these guys here because they're very similar to the ones we've already done. These are the scales to absolute values. And I need to do the send to back and send to front. So let's kind of work on both those 5 right now. They're going to be descendants of this right here. So they're going to look a little bit like this guy right here. Let's do this. Let's just do this. We'll copy this, bring this down, paste it. We're going to call this the scale 100% command. That's what we're going to do. So we'll call it that. And then we're going to save the value, and the value we're going to save is the scale. Like that. And then when we activate redo, we're going to assign the scale, the redo value. And then we activate the undo, we're going to say scale is equal to get value from the stamp properties that we saved right up in here. That's not hard at all. Oh, wait. The redo value is going to be 100. Scale, maybe let's just call this absolute. Absolute, yeah, that'll be nice. Percent, command. Okay, so now in our scale, I think we're looking for something that looks like this. Scale equals 1. No? Maybe there's a set scale. All right, let's look. Let's use Code Rush. Scale. Set absolute scale to. That's kind of what we're looking for. Who's calling that? Why can't I find it here locally? Button scale 100% mouse down. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so right here, we're going to have something that says execute command. Command name is going to be scale absolute percent. And the value is going to be, we're going to pass in the new double data. Passing in 1 as the value. Sweet. Oops. Hold on though. Set absolute scale to. We want to call that from inside. So we'll get rid of this. Yeah, the code cleans up and functionality improves. We need to go to, I think we're here, there. We need not to do this, but to then instead do call set absolute scale to, passing it that. And then similarly here, set absolute scale to this. We need to use that call, set absolute scale to. That's important because that's what we were using at the high level in this code I just removed. We want to do the same thing. Now watch how sweetly this code cleans up. And this all goes away. Isn't that awesome? And then this becomes a 0.5. Like that. And this becomes a 1/3. Like that. Cool. Let's run that. That should all work. And we should now have those participating in the undo redo. After that, we'll work on Z order. And then after that, we get to the really challenging stuff, which I think I'm saving for tomorrow, but who knows? Let's grab a chair. And let's grab a table. And let's take them and shrink them down a little bit. And select both of them and say, let's go to 100%. So they should go to the original ones that they were both dropped on at. There they are. Now I'm going to hit undo. Sweet. Redo. Cool. Yeah. 1/3. Uh-oh. I know what the problem is. Problem is here. I think we still undo though. Watch. Undo. Let's hit 1/3 again. Problem is I didn't typecast this to a double. So I guess I could do it with a 1.0 here. That's probably the shortest way to do it. 1.0 like that. This should work now. There it is. There's my 1/3 scale. 1/3 of their dropped scale. So these are kind of absolutes. There's my double right there. 1/2. 1. Cool. And now undo, 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 undo. Redo, 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 redo. Right? So developers who are working in OBS, OBS is the streaming software we're using, and guess what? OBS does not have undo and redo. And numerous times I've been working with their property editors, and they've made destructive changes to my setups that impact hundreds of scenes. That is true. And all you have to do is implement undo and redo with the command design pattern kits. Watch my show and implement it. Pudding's back from getting some food. Cool, Pudding. All right, undo. Now, stack order. This is a little tricky because we got to take things from one position in the stack and put them in another position in the stack. I'm not sure I'll be able to get this. I'm not sure I'm smart enough to do this right now in front of you. But the idea is something along these lines. Oh, by the way, I haven't checked the alignment buttons. Are these working? Align left, align right, undo, undo. They don't work. Let's take care of our alignment buttons, because those should be easier. Let's go find it. Align. Wait, what's the H one? Okay, cool. All right. So align left. Let's look at align left. What's going on here? All right, let's we need to stop the app and run because stop it from running because we need to create a new class. Here we go. It's similar to this one, the scale absolute we just created. Let's move it to its own file. And we're going to call this the set x absolute command. And then we're going to save the x property. Here we're going to say, we're basically just in the activate redo, we're just doing this code right here. Stamp x is equal to some value, whatever that value is. Okay. Uh-oh. It's based on the stamp width. Okay. So furthest left is what we need to pass in. We need to do a little bit of code. So this code here furthest left is the redo value. Do we know is width a property of stamp properties? It looks like it is. And width is better be a double. Is it? Width is not. Okay, well I guess we can do that. Okay. I think that's okay. And then it's going to be that is equal to get value of stamp properties. And I think that's all we need to do. We save the value of the original x here. Come on, why isn't this? What's wrong here? Oh, because it's a double? Okay. So we will do, I don't know, math.round. We're going to typecast that to an int, like that. Yeah, I think that's my x. My set x absolute command. And let's go move that to its own file. And down here, we're going to do the same thing and change the x to a y. And we'll save the y value. And this one is going to be, oh wait, hold on. No, this has got to be the left. It can't be the x and y. Because it's calculated based on this piece right here. Right? The furthest left plus the width of the stamp divided by 2. Because we're centering these. It's the center position. Yeah, there's my right does the opposite over here. And there's my top and then my bottom. The one we've done could work for centering, I think. I essentially need two values to pass in here. All right, let's do this. Let's create a descent of this. Whoops. We're going to call this the alignment data. Like that. And then we're going to have an alignment property inside of here. I think I've already got one probably declared somewhere. No? No? Okay, fine. We're going to create the alignment right here. Enum alignment. We call it stamp alignment. Like that. And we're going to say left, right, top, bottom, horizontal, center, vertical center. Distribute vertically and distribute horizontally. I think that's it. I might add a none here just for kicks. All right, there's my stamp alignment. And I'm going to create a, let's go back to where we were in alignment data. We're going to create a new property in here. That's going to be of that type. Just call it alignment. And let's create a constructor for it. And let's add in the value here, which is type double. And let's call base with the double. Like that. Now Rory can be like, oh, okay, I think I see what you're doing with the data and the double data. Because at first he was like, wait, why are you creating a class just to wrap a double? But I think it may be starting to make sense. Not that I knew I was going to be here, but I kind of was feeling it. So, so now we got an alignment data. That means out in our main window.xaml, out here, we want to do something like this. Execute command, call it align. Or distribute. New alignment data, and we'll pass in stamp alignment dot left, and the value is going to be furthest left. That's what we're going to pass in right there, like that. So this code calculates the furthest left. And then this is kind of what we're going to need to move out of here. This is gone. This is gone. Like that. So the code is cleaning up. This, we're going to move this out of the way. All right. So now let's go. I think this is where we were. So I think I want to instead make this a, what do I call it? Align or distribute. To essentially the code we already have is just that right there. Stamp X is equal to round furthest left. That's the redo value. And we need to do a kind of a switch here on what's going on here. But let's do the set X. Do I have a set Y? I don't. Good. Okay. So liner distribute. And we want to have a property in here which is of type, what is it, alignment? Stamp alignment. Call it alignment like this. Okay, so I think we need I'm just trying to figure out where to, I basically need to do something like this in my redo, in my, sorry, not here in my, what is it, my alignment, align, where is it? The distribute command. I think it's going something like this. If it is alignment data, like that, like that is what I'm looking for. Setting the alignment there. So I'm just creating a backing store on this. So if the data is the same, we're not going to do anything. But now I wanted to do something that says like on data changed, like this. And then I want to declare that. And let's make it protected and virtual. We're not going to do anything here, but then I want to go to this. Let's rename the file to match. Whoops. What did I have? Did I have a second one? Oh, that's why the second one in there. Okay, so we delete that. We don't need set X absolute command. We don't need this anymore. Delete this. Okay, so align or distribute command. So now what I want to do is I want to override that. And I want to here put that code there. So we're just going to set it there whenever the data changes. So we're going to set that alignment correctly there. Now that we've got this property alignment, we can come in and do a switch statement here. On alignment. And if we're moving left or right, we're going to save the X value. If we're moving top or bottom, we're going to save the Y value. Horizontal center, we're going to save the X. Wait, is that right? Horizontal center? Yeah, that's the X. Vertical center, we're going to save the Y. Distribute vertically, we're going to save the Y. And distribute horizontally. Look at that code. That's not bad. Like that. Right? So we determine what to save based on that. Based on the alignment direction we're going. Then we're going to switch it on alignment again. We don't need this down here. So in activate redo, we're going to go through all the selected stamps. And then we're going to do the switch statement here. Based on alignment, we're going to come in and make different changes, do different code. So if we're doing left, we're going to say that's equal to the redo value plus stamp properties width divided by 2. So we're going to center that piece right there. Let's go look at some of the other code that we have out there. Let's see here. Align or distribute. So this is our code for our button align left, mouse down. And let's do the align right here. Let's do an extract method. What did I call this up here? Get furthest right in selection. All right. And then this is all gone. This is all gone. And now this is going to become align or distribute. We're going to move to the right this time. And we're going to pass in the furthest right value. And this goes away here. And then in our align or distribute command, in our furthest right, we have code that looks like this. Let's take this and rename it to stamp just to make this code we paste in a little easier. Furthest right is going to be the redo value. Like that. Because we're sending that in here. We're putting that in right there. That's going to be that data that we use. So there, align right is now, should be undoable and redoable. Let's do a build, and if it works, let's just double check the code and we'll test align left and align right. Those should now be participating in undo and redo. Okay, let's double check this code. There's our activates. We're missing some other pieces here. Activate undo. Oops, we don't have the undo working here yet. So the undo, we need again the switch statement on alignment, but this is going to actually look way more like this. Watch this, you're going to love this. So here, we have this here, and we have this here with Y. And I think that's it for the undo. We're just getting that value that we saved before for each one of those stamps. And now we've got this really cool class that is allowing us to participate undo and redo in alignment. You are only seeing the pieces that we need, you know, depending on which one of the changes that are occurring, right? We just have a few more of these to fill out the logic here, but it's not hard. Let's run it and see if it works. All right, here's the app. Let's drop some stuff out here. Let's get it to about third scale. Drop it to a third. And one of these out here too. 1/3 scale. All right, so now we want to select these like this. We'll do 1, 2, 3, align left, and then undo. Good, it worked. Redo, undo, redo, sweet. And now align right. Uh-oh. Align right, not working? Who said breakpoint here? Why is that working? Align right. Not getting to the breakpoint. Set the breakpoint here. Line right. Oh, that's my problem. All right, let's see what works now. Uh-oh. Oh no, just a breakpoint. I got scared for a second because of the red background. Run it. It looks like it works. Undo. Undo. No. Undo. There we go. Redo. Undo. Redo. Undo. Redo. Undo. So one more time. Select all of these. Align right. Undo. 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 Something's happening. I have to require. I'm hit it once. Undo. 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 Do I have a problem with the way I'm calling this? Yep, I do. I see what I've done. Okay. Align right. That's also not needed. I just need this right here. I have the same problem in this? No, I don't. Okay, good. All right. This should now fix it. All right. So undo. Yeah, it's now immediate. Undo. Okay. It's. I went back into the other list of stuff. So one more time. Shift, shift, shift like this. Align left. Undo. Align right. Undo. Redo. Undo. Redo. Undo. Line left. Undo. Redo. Undo. Redo. Sweet. That's working well. We just have a couple more to implement. We can do that using edit and continue, kids. I should call this the edit and continue show because we're using that feature like crazy all over the place. So our next point is this one, align top. That's where we need to be. So let's come in here. Let's undo. So they're like this. Say let's align top. There's the button. And let's get rid of all of this. We need to extract this. Get furthest. What am I calling this again? Top in selection. Top in selection. Like that. And then I want to get rid of this. And I want to get rid of that. I'm going to come back in a second. I want this down here. That says, it's going to be furthest top is the data I'm going to send in. The alignment is going to be top. This is my magic code right there. I'm going to come back to this and fix this too. I want to consolidate this. Let's come over here. Here's my top code right here. This is going to be my redo value. Like that. theoretically, we should also be able to figure out that the bottom is the same, like that, which means I should be able to, hold on, I wanted to consolidate this. This is a lot every time. Extract method, call this align, like this. Let's come down here. Let's take this and make this a parameter. Like that. And we're going to call this value. And I think I'm going to reorder these parameters here so that I have alignment first, like that. Okay, so now I've got this sweeter align call. Now I'm going to come in here, do the same thing. Align, this one's going to be align right. And it's going to take furthest right. Way better. And let's do the same thing up here. For this one, we're going to say align to the left. Furthest left. I think that's it for what we did. Okay. So looking way better in terms of the code. In fact, now we can even do this. We can inline this temp and here we have an if else on that. So there's a line top. So here now this looks like this. Okay, that's top line top. And align bottom is here. I'll get that in a second. Extract method, get furthest bottom in selection. And here we're just going to call align bottom furthest bottom. Delete all of this. Cut that to the clipboard. Delete that. And now we can come in here and inline this temp. All right, sweet. Now, let's go check that code. This is the code. I cut the clipboard just to make sure it was the same. Yep, it's the same logic. Okay, so now top and bottom should be participating. We're in edit and continue, and we're now taking features so that we just aligned top, undo. Again, align top. Let's clear the breakpoint. Undo, align bottom, undo, redo, undo, sweet. Align top, undo, redo. Yeah, super sweet. Okay, next we've got align vertical centers and horizontal centers to work on. Get those. Again, all of these are coming over pretty fast and easy, right? Each feature, we started with an app that had all of these features, and one at a time we are adding the features back in so that they now participate, so they still work, but they now participate in undo and redo. It's very cool, and it's super realistic of what you would experience in a real setting, in a real application setting, right? You've built an app, it has functionality, and now somebody asks for undo and redo. How hard is it to do? It's really not too hard. We started the last show getting, and we got about a third of the way there. This show we're about another third of the way through, and then we're going to do the most challenging stuff, I think, tomorrow. So let's see, what do we got? We have back and forth here and here. We're doing the vertical centers, and then we need to do distribute vertically and distribute horizontally. We need to do those too. So let's find those. All right, let's start with horizontal centers. Here it is right here. Set a breakpoint, trigger the breakpoint. There we are. We're nearby, or we're up above, I think, the pieces we want to be in. Basically want the call to look like that. Okay. So we're looking for kind of a call like this. What are we doing here? We're finding our total center, average center. All right, so we can do this. Extract this method. Get average center in selection. Like that. And that's going to be my data I pass in. This is my magic move command over here. So we need to go to this piece. And we're in horizontal center, right? Yep, horizontal center. So we're going to do this. And this is going to be my redo value. Now, it's a nice architecture, right? It's very... The changes are like so crazy simple, right? Everything else is remaining unchanged, right? In this one class that's providing all kinds of undo and redo for the alignments, right? See, the undo, we're just restoring what we saved, right? In our prep, we're just saving the values we need, either the X or the Y. And it's in this generic, general purpose save value that's just saving a double above. And this is in a descendant class here, base stamp absolute value command, which is where that double is saved. There's the redo value there, the double that's saved for us. Well, that's the forward direction, sorry. And the save value is where is it? It's just added to this undo values list here, this dictionary GUIDs. So we did that all at the beginning of the show. So here we go. We're going, there's my horizontal center. Oh yeah, since they're centered, there's not a lot of logic here. I think the vertical center has got to be something like this. Distribute vertically might be a little tricky. Have to figure that out. Might require more data. Let's see. If it does, no big deal. We'll save that for tomorrow. Okay, so we don't need these. We don't need any of this. This, though, we need to say this, align horizontal center, like that. Yeah, I'm loving this code. And then down here, vertical center is going to look like this. There it is, vertical center. And we need something that is going to do that right there. Give us that average center Y. Let's rename this to horizontal. Let's duplicate this. Make it vertical. Center in selection. And I feel like it's, well, I'm going to change X with Y. Replace all. I think we're good. Let's inline this temp. Let's inline this temp. Simplify that code. There we go. So there is, oops, I want to also change this and kill all this. So there it is. That code is now there. So we've got the simple code there, simple code there. So now horizontal and vertical centers should now be participating. Undo, redo, undo, redo. Whoops, sorry, that was two undos. There's my redo right there. Undo, redo. Undo. Let's try vertical center. Undo, redo, undo, redo. Sweet. We are down to the last two for the alignments, the distribute vertically and distribute horizontally. So let's go look at those. Okay, we need 2 pieces of data for distribution. We need the furthest left and the space between stamps. We need more data. What should I do about that? I'm going to add it to alignment data is what I think I'm going to do. Let's try this. Align, stamp alignment, distribute horizontally. The double value is going to be furthest left. Which I don't have at this point yet. I think what I need to do. Oh, I can't change. Well, let's call this. Let's create something called distribute. And this is going to be our space between value. That's what it's going to be. And then that means I need to come in here and create a new alignment data that's going to take generate that without fields because I want to use code rush to declare a property here for this space between. Okay, good. And then what I need to do is, wait, where am I? That's the wrong place. I want to be here. When the data's changed, then I want to come in here and I want to say, I want to assign the data here, like this. And, whoops, not declare local. I want to declare that as a property. Auto implemented. Okay, now I've got my space between. All right, good. I think we're good on that. Space between is going to default to 0. All right, where are we in the code? What's my edit problem here? Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, so now, what do I need? I need furthest right just to calculate space between the stamps. Okay, so let's extract this into its own method. We're going to call this get furthest left and space between stamps, selected stamps. I know, it's big. Right there. Then we're going to call distribute. And we're going to pass in the furthest left and the space between stamps. What's my problem here? Is this expecting... It's a double. I think this is an old underline that's going to go away in a second here. Okay. Then... we need to get rid of that right there. Get rid of all of this. And that logic I just cut to the clipboard needs to come over here in this space. But here's my for each from before. Yeah, I think I need a special case here. Hold on a second. Let's drop a marker here. We're going to say, hey, if alignment equals stamp alignment distribute horizontally, put its own in its own method. And get out of here. All right. Let's grab this code. Right there. We're going to get rid of both of these. So there. So now this is going to be my redo value. That's my stamp X right there. This is going to be my space between stamps, which we're saving up above. I thought we had it. What did we call it? Space between. Okay. I think that's it. Similarly, okay, we're going to take this, and there's my that. Let's change this to a Y. Change this to a Y. Like that. Make that to a Y right there. Sorry, distribute vertically. I think that's all we need to do. I think this code is going to be identical to the other code that we've seen before. Nice. This is great, really great decoupled code. And our most complex method is this piece right here, which appears to be done. So it's not bad, right, for the functionality that it gives. And what's cool about it is just the differing functionalities, what we see listed on each line here. So each line can come in here like this. I almost want to take that break and pop it to the end like this. So it's a little easier to compare the lines. I don't know. Not sure if that's easy to read or not. Maybe not. But it's easy. But it's kind of easier to compare, I think. Maybe not. Let's just undo it. I don't know. I was playing with it. I thought it would be better. I think I kind of like it here for these, and then for these two, because they're kind of different. I kind of like those together. Or maybe like this. Yeah, I like that better, like that. So we have these together right here so we can see what's going on with each one. And we can see, oh yeah, there's symmetry in the logic, which is, from the standpoint of code quality, allows us to very quickly see, is there a problem, right? If we've got asymmetry, it calls attention to itself. So we're going to take a look at that and what's going on. But I love that essentially the summary of what happens to each stamp is all in this method here. I think that's nice. We have a little bit of where we're, calling outside of it, but that's a distribution is a slightly different thing. Okay, so those are those two. Can we run it? Will it work? With edit and continue. So missing method exception. We sometimes get this with edit and continue if we have DLLs at different levels, high and low, and I'm making changes in the low level during edit and continue. So we'll have to break the app, stop the app and restart it. Sometimes it happens. All right, here we go. All right, so let's get something else. Let's grab some items here. Let's grab. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Sconces. So in the sconces area, we've got these different kinds of lights that we can kind of drop on and kind of attach to the wall. So I can kind of come in here like this and drop some, but they may not be evenly distributed. So what I want to do is come in and select them all like this. Let's align bottom. We'll zoom in a little bit here. Align bottom like that. And then we want to distribute them horizontally. So let's try it. Got a breakpoint. Let's clear the breakpoint and just see if it works. Okay, now they're evenly spaced. Sweet. Let's hit undo. Nice. Look at that. Nice. Let's take one of these. Let's make a copy of it. Let's rotate it over here. And now let's make a couple more copies of it. Like that. And now let's take this, this, and this. Let's align them to the right. And let's distribute them vertically. Look at that. And now let's hit undo. Nice. Redo, undo, redo. Undo. Wait. Undo. Let's redo, redo, redo. Wait a minute. I'm feeling like my redo on my redistribute didn't work. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3. Distribute vertically. Undo. That's not right. That's not what happened. Something's wrong here on the vertical, I think. Let's double check that we've got undo and redo here. Make sure distribute horizontal is correct. Maybe we just got a logic problem in here. Distribute horizontal, undo, redo, undo, redo. That works. Okay, come in here. That works. Undo, that does not work for it. Oh, I think I know why. Because distribute vertically, we aren't using the command. We're doing this here, but we're not doing it down here for vertically. That's why it's not participating in the undo. So let's make it participate in the undo. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Distribute vertically. And now we want something that says distribute like this. Stamp alignment dot distribute vertically. The align value, well, we got to figure that out. Like that. And now we're going to pass furthest top as the redo, the value we're moving towards, and then space between stamps is the second value. And I'm pretty sure all of this is going to go away, and this is just going to work. Okay. Let's clear the breakpoint, try a run on that. Okay, there's my forward, there's my undo, redo, undo, redo, undo, redo. Sweet. So not bad. All right, so tomorrow we have the most challenging part of all, and that is to handle deletion and reconstruction. We're close. I kind of want to keep going because I'm like, you know, in that little bit of that mood, but I got to move on to some other things, and so we will do those things, but Now we have undo, redo all over the place with almost every feature we have in our stamp editor. At least for the stamps, we still need to be able to handle something like this. Notice that every time I click this button, it changes and kind of creates a new generated random texture. I've got a couple of these that do these like this, and this one is similarly this one as well. So we have to set up undo and redo for the tiles as well, but we are pretty much really close to having essentially retrofitted a working application that had a wide variety of sophisticated features to have complete undo and redo support. And that's right on the heels of earlier episodes of the week before, where we implemented the composite design pattern to support grouping. Oh, speaking of which, grouping we don't have support for either, which is actually related to the complexity. So right now, if I group these, I have no undo for grouping. I can hit the ungroup button on these, but I don't have it in the undo redo stack. So we need to fix grouping, but all of these buttons around here we have nailed, with the exception grouping and Z order. We have to do those two. And there's a little bit more cleanup, something I was going to do today, but I decided not to, which is instead of having all of these movements be on the undo stack, have them only be, is that really what I want to do? Maybe not. It's actually kind of cool to watch this. That's my undo and then my redo. That's really cool. It even opened up the editor for me. When I hit undo, I don't even know how that's working. Maybe I will keep it. No, I'm not. Because I want when you release the mouse, I want it to commit it. So we need to do that. We've got a couple cleanup pieces to clean up. I think we'll be able to do it all on tomorrow's show, which means on 3 shows we'll have completely implemented undo and redo on a very sophisticated application. All right, kids, let's go see who else is streaming out there. We're gonna do the friendly thing and rate a channel out there. See who's out there. Bald Bearded Builder. Holy cow! We'll send you over there to Bald Bearded Builder. CLW is out there. I think Lanalex is out there as well. Say hi to Michael Jolly for me. Thanks so much, kids. And we will see you tomorrow.